right. Welcome back to Three Girls, One Deck, as per usual. So here with the other two of the three girls, and hopefully we'll start getting some folks joining us. But just to sort of get started, what we decided to do today, just because, we're lazy and couldn't come up with a different topic, is we're going to go ahead and do a tag. So, because it's always fun to do tags together. And this was a really fun one that I think we all had to think about a lot. We were talking earlier and we were like, oh my gosh, this was a tough one. Like it was hard to come up with decks for some of these. So it was challenging. Like it's a really good tag that makes you think a lot.
Yeah,
so
it's actually a recommendation from a comment in our last slide. Yeah. So
excellent. So thank you to, do we know who left that comment?
was it Whale Song? I can't. Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't remember. I feel like it might have been Whale Song. But
yeah, I think it might have been.
Okay. So yeah. So
Well,
this was definitely yes. Thank you for the rec because it definitely made us think.
Yeah, this was tough. This one. Yeah.
And so the tag that we're doing, oh, hello, everybody. We've got Nicole. We've got, Chris and Louise. Hi. You have a new name. So hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. So we are going to be doing the tag My Tarot Identity. And this was a tag by Carrie's Mystical Musings. And this is a tough one. This is a really good tag. So we're excited to do this. Yeah, I think that we're just going to go through the list of prompts and each of us is going to talk about which deck we came up with for that particular prompt. But yeah, this was a tough one. So anyway, I think I'm actually going first.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and let's try to put ourselves in the middle. I think I'll try to keep up with it so that,
Me too.
It won't be too much like, jumping around or anything like that.
Making people seasick.
Yeah, I'll try not to make people seasick. But anyway, so the first prompt for this particular tag is what deck represents your outward aesthetic? And let me actually pull this up on my phone because I have the specific wording. And also just to let you know, I will be putting a link to Carrie's original video and the tag down in the description box once we're done. I just didn't want to do it ahead of time because I didn't want to give away what we were doing or anything like that. Because you guys care, right? Yeah. So the deck that matches your outward aesthetic, think home decor, wardrobe, your style. So I had to go with home decor for this one because my wardrobe is basically entirely t-shirts and yoga pants, and I don't think there are very many decks that really represent that aesthetic for the most part. But from a home decor perspective, and this is very aspirational, but I went with the Tildwick Tarot. This is what I would love my house to look like, and I try to make it look like as much as possible. I really like antique furniture. I buy half of my stuff on Facebook Marketplace. That's where all my stuff comes from. And I just like this sort of antique-y kind of, maximalist, slightly Victorian sort of aesthetic. I like to call my house grandma chic because I have lots of plates on the walls and stuff like that. So yeah, this is what I picked for my outward aesthetic. But do I dress like this? No, absolutely not. But yeah, it's all yoga pants and t-shirts. You guys have probably figured that out by now. So that's for me. Yeah, I mean,
Yep,
exactly. Facebook Marketplace, one and all. So who is next?
Julie is next.
Julie's next. Okay. So we'll put Julie in the middle.
So, I mean, I have the same issue in that, style. What style? I'm athleisure essentially. But then home decor, I'm very basic bitch with that too. I could not really think of a specific style, but I will say, I mean, I guess in terms of wardrobe, aside from it being athleisure, I do tend toward, and even if you look, I guess in my room, I tend to like cute kawaii things, cute and creepy things. And so I decided to show the Luna's My Melody Tarot, more cute than creepy, but even some of the well, a lot of like the t-shirts I wear, they have, well, here, so see, I mean, just as an example, and my mom's just like, how old are we? And you're still wearing stuff like that. And yes, because that's just me. Yes. So I am definitely all about, cutesy, kawaii, shirts, graphic tees, tchotchkes, and definitely, put a little bit of a creep factor in there too, but I just thought I'd go with this one. So yeah, it's really it.
I mean, yes, I would say that is absolutely accurate about you, 100%. So yeah. Okay, Heather.
So I went for style more than anything because my house is like a jumble sale in terms of aesthetic. So I went for style, and I guess my style, like in terms of like tops particularly, I tend to wear my nerdiness on my body. Like anything that I love, like right now I've got horror characters on my top, and I have a Gizmo t-shirt from Gremlins, and I have a My Little Pony t-shirt, and like, so I went for, in a kind of tenuous link, I went for one of the only fan decks I own of a fan start show that I am obsessed with. So I picked the Buffy Tarot as my style, because I do wear my nerdiness quite literally on my chest a lot of the time. And so it felt like quite a good.
That makes sense. I'm the same way, yeah.
Yeah. But my mum is also the same, Julie. And occasionally my mum will say to me, I don't really like tops with like pictures or words on. I'm like, okay. I mean, maybe don't wear them then.
Yeah, exactly. I do. Don't know what to say. Yeah.
Don't really, and it'll always be when I'm wearing something like this, and she'll just, I don't really like.
It's like, how old are we? Like, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
It brings me happiness,
Exactly. And I'm comfortable. So
right.
I'm
exactly. Yes.
I love this. We don't wear these things unironically. We full ironically.
Oh, yes.
Not ironically, full ironically.
Oh.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's perfect. I think we all did good for
I think we did do good. Yeah.
Like we're off to a start. Yeah, I think we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So the next prompt is, and again, I need to just pull this up so I have the exact wording. The deck that fits a hidden or guilty pleasure aesthetic you secretly love and rarely show. And I think all of us had kind of the same thought about this, where we were sort of like, how guilty are we about this? Really? Are we actually guilty? Not so guilty. But I mean, probably you guys would have already figured out what deck I'm going to show for this, because I always show this deck for these kinds of prompts, and that would be the Crystal Visions Tarot. Sarah's teenage fantasy girl love in deck form. So, yep, pretty dresses, pretty ladies, unicorns, tiny unicorns. Weird tiny
unicorns.
Oh, here's one. So, does this look exactly like the pictures that I would draw on the margins of my notebooks? Yes, it does. If I was as good at drawing, my horses always look terrible too. But like basically, yeah, this is 100% it. This is no surprise to anybody. So Julie's turn.
Well, then you might guess mine, because
Tarot de la Nuit. We know each other too well, man. Too well.
I mean, again, full on fantasy, cosplay, the kind of Victorian goth. I mean, I openly love this shit. Openly, it's just full on fun. If I could, I would wear some of this shit for a couple hours.
Yeah.
I'm not about to be sitting in a corset all day long, but like, if I went to the Renfest and decided I wanted to dress up, I would love to have me an outfit like this, right? I'm just too cheap and lazy to do it. But for sure, this is totally my go-to answer, and I openly love it, and And yeah, that would be my answer. Shocking, I know, shocking.
Nobody saw that coming.
No one saw it coming.
All right, Heather's turn.
Oh man, I struggled with this one so much because I am very unashamedly open about everything. But so I ended up going with a bit different from you two, but I ended up going with the Lightseers Tarot because there is something about this real boho hippie style that I absolutely adore, and I see it on other people, and I'm like, that's what I want to look like.
Right, yeah.
I want to be that laid back person who can like rock up in yoga pants and look good.
Right. Exactly.
And this deck makes me think of that vibe. Yeah. And I think that's why I love it, because I'm like, I want to be this person.
Yeah.
Very
and I love this aesthetic, but this is an aesthetic that stays in my house and nobody else.
Yeah.
Exactly. If I could feel comfortable going out wearing a cute little crocheted midriff top, then sure. But can I? No.
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 No. So yeah, this is a style I aspire to, but do not wear in public ever. Right. I did when I was in my 20s and was tiny, but now I'm like,
no.
Yoga pants are not for me. I just want them to be.
Right.
I love this. Yeah, I'd wear a t-shirt with that art on it instead of the corset.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. 100% agree. Well, loving something openly is way more interesting than trying to be damn straight. Like, I don't need to be ironic about it.
I don't have time for people who try and be all ironic about stuff. I'm like, just be a nerd. Just openly love the things you love and own it.
Embrace it. Yeah. Oh, girl.
Yeah, me too. Oh, you too.
I mean, I know that there is a corset culture out there that there are people who really, it's a thing, and people just love it, and I can see the appeal. I don't think I'd feel very comfortable.
Yeah. I never wore corsets in my 20s, but I did, like, just the other weekend, I gave away this dress that I've had since I was in college that I found in a thrift store that was like full Morticia Adams, like plunging deep V-neck with fringe around it, long flowing skirt, the whole bit. And I used to wear that like to costume parties and stuff all the time when I was in my 20s. And I finally, after decades, was like, okay, you're never going to fit into this anymore. You can finally give it away. But I loved that dress so much. And it just hurt me to let go of it. But it was like, this has been in your closet unworn for literally 20 years. Like, you could probably let it go now. So
I don't have any of the clothes that I wore in my 20s. I would not get into any of them. And
same.
Is now a lot more skin I'm comfortable with. I looked back at some of the photos of when I was in my 20s and was like,
damn.
Wow.
Exactly.
I had a dress that was a knitted dress, but it was like, like a string vest with really big holes.
Yeah.
It was like that. Yeah. And I wore a bra and some shorts underneath it.
Yep. Oh gosh, those college days. Yes. Oh yes. Well, hopefully, I mean, do you have a picture of yourself wearing that dress, Sarah?
No. Oh yeah. Do you? Sarah,
probably somewhere. I'm sure I do somewhere. I mean, it would be a real photograph as opposed to a digital photograph, because we didn't have digital photographs back then. So that was the 90s.
So that way, at least, you got rid of it. But maybe if you had a picture or something.
I'm sure I have one somewhere. I loved that dress so much. So
I love you, Marlena, but the answer to that is no.
Oh my God, no way. No fucking way.
No.
Yes, I'm actually surprised that I have as many pictures as I do from college, because I just generally don't like pictures in general, though I feel like that is something I should change, just for memory keeping sake, realizing how few pictures I do have. But like, I actually do have more than I thought I did from my college years.
So, thank God they're not digital and on Facebook, boy. We all did some
I
stuff.
did have some on Facebook because I started going out around the time that people had digital cameras.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uploading them to Facebook used to take about 4 days.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
also, I'm not on Facebook now, so they're not attached to me in any way. And in all of them, I am some level of drunk
Right.
yeah.
Of course.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm in some stage of being between just
Thing.
getting started and somebody needing to hold me up.
I hear you.
Oh, so this one I was gonna put, because yes, I have also heard that this is true, that like if you get a course, because and I watch all of the like historical recreation, like costuming YouTubers and stuff like that, who will always say, like corsets are not supposed to be uncomfortable. Like it was much more about, like, it wasn't about cinching you in. It was like the equivalent of a bra. It was supposed to be like a supportive garment, and like actually if you get one that fits you properly, it's quite comfortable. And like what they really did, rather than having tiny waists back then, they were like mostly padding out other parts of their bodies to make their waist look smaller. So like watch like Bernadette Banner, or watch like oh gosh, who's Abby Cox, or there's some like really good historical costuming and recreation YouTubers who would like do really interesting stuff talking about the history of corsets and stuff like that. So anyway, yes, yeah, I'm a very big fan. I watch that stuff all the time. Like I don't know why, but that's like one of my main consumed genres of YouTube is like cosplay, historical costuming, and sewing, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway,
cool.
Okay, so the next topic is the deck that totally matches your personality, and I can't answer this one. So I don't even know why I put myself in the center, because I could not come up with an answer to this. So do you guys have a thought as to what deck matches my personality? I couldn't, like, totally matches?
Yeah, that
all of my decks combined match my personality.
Yeah.
I had nothing for that one. So I'm gonna move Julie into the center because I got nothing interesting to say.
this one was hard. This one took me a lot of time. And essentially, I mean, I basically opted for what some people have told me about my personality, which is that I'm like a cat. And so, I chose I could have chosen any number of cat decks that I have, but I just went with the Cat's Eye Tarot. But so I've been told like I can be like a cat in that, I can be very lovely and affectionate, but then other times quite stoic and non-emotive. And then also you push me a little too far and the claws do come out. And so, and okay, I can see that. I can. So that's pretty much what I went with.
Yeah. Actually, that's probably a little bit true of me as well, especially like at the point that I decide I don't like you.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, and I'll just go hide somewhere. I'm not going to be anywhere near you. So, like the wall comes down and it's down. Like there is no breaking through it. So
right. So yeah, that was my choice. I don't know how accurate it is, but that's what I had been told more than once.
I think that makes total sense to me. So I think you got that Queen of Swords side, definitely, but you're also like the sweetest person on the planet. So that makes complete sense. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right.
Heather.
Well, I've been told I'm like an overexcited puppy, but I don't have any dog. I didn't go with that. Occasionally, I'm like, am I? Okay. So I also really struggled with this because personalities are complicated. Yeah. So I just went for a deck which I think sums up like the two sides of me. And I actually went for the cute and creepy tarot, because the two things that I love the most are really, really dark shit and really, really cute and fluffy shit. So this was the closest that I could think of in terms of personality. And also I just wanted an excuse to get this deck up because I love it.
So cute. It's so cute. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, that was me.
Yes, and I do remember that video.
Julie made a version of that.
Yeah.
We talked about the video in our last live, didn't we? Because Julie brought it up.
Yeah, exactly. That was a great video. Extremely fun. and extremely accurate. So, okay. So the next prompt is a deck that represents a fun fact or something unique about you. And I don't know, this isn't really a fun fact or something very unique at all, but oh, I need to put myself in the middle. See, this is where I'm like totally behind already.
I need to
So
remember.
I went with the literary tarot just because
Okay.
I really love to read. Like one of the things that I think one of the reasons that I actually really enjoyed this deck is that when I actually went through this deck and like I had read the vast majority of the books in this deck. Like, I mean, I read a lot and I have always read a lot. And so, and there are certain cards in this deck that represent books that I feel like should be more widely read, like the Star being Emily of New Moon. That's like one of my favorite books of all time. There's an Anne of Green Gables card in here. Like there are just certain things that about this deck that are like very, very me, and I really, really like this one. I think a lot of it was extremely well done. And so yeah, I went with this one. Like this feels like yeah. Oh, here's my Anne of Green Gables card. Yay. I love it so much. Yeah. So this one, yeah, definitely a fun fact, I think. So
Very cool.
Julie's turn.
Okay, this one was hard because I'm just like, fun fact, unique. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But maybe this will be fun. Okay, so my choice was Fool for Tarot. And this is a pip deck by Rumor Haven. She has a tarot channel. And this is inspired by the character named Spike from the TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So the reason I'm showing this is because my fun fact is this. I have a tattoo that people they've never seen really because it's in like a covered part. And I got this like grad school. And come to find out later that a cast member from Buffy the Vampire Slayer has the same tattoo. And this is a design that could be stylized in, various ways, right? But no, this actor and I are tattoo twinsies.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The same practically. And I'm gonna be the vague booking bitch that doesn't tell you what the tattoo is or which I'm not.
Hey, you can't tease us like that and then not share.
It may or may not be James Marsters, a Spike.
Okay, so now I need to look up James Marsters tattoos. Okay.
And it's funny because like nobody really knows about this tattoo or even what it, signifies for me.
Okay.
Something that's been kind of private for me and like unless you see me in my birthday suit. So basically only doctors and that you have even known of its existence kind of thing. And I just don't really talk about it. But yeah, it's just hilarious that like, okay, this actor has like essentially the exact same, like it looks the same essentially. It's not stylized any differently. Like, yeah, anyway. So.
Do you two have it in approximately the same place or different places?
No, different places.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. I have so many questions, but I'll let you. I won't. Cry, but
yeah,
I have many questions.
I don't know if that was a fun fact or not, but there you have it.
Wow. I also don't have any interesting or fun facts about me that are in any way a shock or a secret. But I went with an oracle deck, and I actually went with the Alice in Wonderland oracle because it is no secret that I love Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
But one of the things I love about Alice in Wonderland is how much potential it has to be turned into something dark and twisted and slightly creepy and scary. And I love it when people do that well in books, in movies, in art. And this deck is exactly that. It's an Alice in Wonderland tarot that could arguably be called creepy and weird and dark. And so it kind of fits that thing that I love perfectly.
So.
No secret tattoos.
Yeah.
I know your Alice in Wonderland tattoo is not a secret.
No.
wall.
It's right
No.
there. It's very visible and it's so cool. It's such a cool tattoo. So
It's not my only tattoo, but it is
Right.
very visible.
yes, that specific one is super cool. So
Yes.
awesome. Okay. So the next category is this is the alter ego category, the deck that feels like your alter ego. And I think we all kind of weren't sure how to approach this. And so I approached it as the person I wish I am, but I am not.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Okay. So we all kind of did the same thing with that. So yeah, the person I wish I was, but am not. I decided to go with the Herb Crafter's Tarot because I very much wish I was the person in these cards, you know, like I very much wish I was this cool, you know, gardening, like herb crafting, you know, at one with the land kind of person. I am not. I am a total failure as a gardener. I kill plants willy-nilly all the time. And you know, this is just, I am not this like earth goddess kind of person. But boy, I wish I was. I wish I could be that person. Like so much, I wish I could be that person. So yeah, if only. If only. But that's part of the reason why I think I love this deck so much, is that it gives me a glimpse into like a person I wish I could be. And I think it's so beautiful and just, you know, it's very aspirational as a deck. So love this one. So that's mine. Julie.
Okay. So I think I did this one a little differently from both of you in that this is, I wouldn't know, alter ego. I don't know if that's quite the definition, but I went with the deck that kind of shows maybe a side of myself that like I keep private and is different from, I think, the way a lot of people might commonly perceive me, because I think people, especially in my offline life, perceive me to be pretty kind of even keel, level-headed. You know, I know how to like manage things okay, you know, duress and whatever. But I would say on the flip side, I basically have this side that is like unhinged basket case. So I went with the Reclaim Oracle for that. Now this is this, to be fair, this is a balanced deck. It's not all just, you know, but I did select some cards here to kind of represent the different facets of how my unhinged basket case alter ego might manifest, like, you know, the issues that I might be dealing with and why the basket case alter ego might manifest. And usually this is in private, you know, usually this is when Matt is at work. So, you know, I'm alone, or I'm like, you know, crying in the shower, or, you know, just places where people do not, you know, I try not to do this out in public.
Yeah. Yeah. Unhinged basket case with secret tattoos.
Yeah.
We're all learning so much.
In your defense, Julie, I think if we were all a little bit honest with ourselves, we're all unhinged basket case.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why I feel like it's not so much really alter ego. Like I wouldn't say that that's necessarily, but it's a side of myself that people
don't see. People don't see.
Yeah, and that, you know, and I do take care to try not to show, because Lord knows I don't need people freaking out and then having to manage their feelings on top of my own. So it is something where I find that I am on autopilot when it comes to, and you know, something that I've learned about myself and I'm trying to like work through, which is that I mask a lot. You know, so and it's just kind of a very, it's something I don't even think that I do as much as I actually find out that I do. Until then, you know, the unhinged basket case comes out when I least expect it. So yeah, that would be my answer.
And then you're crying in the bathroom at work, and it's like, here we are doing this. So, all right, Heather's turn.
So I went the same direction as Sarah, and I picked a deck that was like a personality traits that I wish I had, and a type of person I wish I was that I'm just not. And I went for the gentle tarot. Because also in order, by the way, but like there's something really calm and earthy and gentle about this deck, and soft. No one ever describes me as soft No one, ever, never. There are lots of words people describe me with, and some of them are very nice words, but they're never soft or gentle. Those are not words that people use when they talk about me. And I really like soft people are just, there's just something really warm and kind and calming about them. And I always want to be that kind of person, but I am a little bit too Queen of Swords for it. And so I'm too direct. Like, I want to be this soft, gentle, earthy person. Unfortunately, my personality does not agree with me.
Oh, that's so funny. That's great.
All right. So the next prompt is the deck that fits how you are as a bestie. And so this is another one that I actually feel like I maybe should have had other people answer for me, but I don't know this. I don't like, maybe this isn't even true. I don't even know. And randomly, the deck that I came up with is the Tarot of Mystical Moments. Because I think I do tend to be like, I don't know, as a bestie, I do think I tend to be like a pretty like gentle, encouraging person for the most part, but with a slightly quirky side, I suppose, where, you know, some of my friends are always like, oh, there's Sarah on her bullshit again, you know, like, and you know, it's acceptable, like there's nothing wrong with it, but it can be a little weird, you know. So that's how I came up with it. I don't know. I mean, like, I was just making shit up as I went along, so I don't know, but yeah, that's what I came up with. So anyway, yeah, sure. Tarot Mystical Moments. Why not?
Awesome.
Mine.
Okay, so I decided to go with the Everyday Witch.
So did I.
I wonder if we have the same explanation.
Yeah.
So basically, I would like to think that I am, you know, a supportive friend, and that I strive to be a good listener. But then also, you know, as a bestie, I am one to tell you if maybe you're a little bit out of pocket. Tell you, you know, if bitching rights expire because you've been making some bad life choices since 2001. So I feel like this is what that deck does, and as a bestie, like I would want my bestie to do that for me. So that's how I strive to be with my besties, or as a bestie. That's how I strive to conduct myself. I would have to ask others, but that is what I went with. What about Heather?
Well, I have nothing to say that you haven't just said, because that's exactly the reason I went for it as well. Because exactly like you said, I think, you know, I will do anything for anyone. I will be there for you completely in any way that you need me. But I will never tell you it's okay when it isn't, when I don't know that it's going to be okay. And I will call you out on your bullshit. Because I think that's what friends should do. Your friends should be able to call you out on your bullshit and be the person that knows when it's appropriate to say to you, okay, cool, but do you think maybe you've milked this for all it's worth now?
Right.
It's time to move on. So yeah, exactly the same reason. I do think that's how this deck reads for me.
Exactly.
And that is how I try and conduct myself in my friendships with people.
Right on.
Yeah, poor old Sarah.
I know. I mean, I am the water sign here between two air signs, like in this friendship. So like, you know, luckily I have a Libra moon, so I can you know, from an emotional standpoint, I can take the air sign stuff, you know, like I can internalize it a little bit and deal with it. But yes, definitely the water sign with two air signs. For sure.
That's hilarious.
Okay, next up, a place where you would like to live or your dream vacation. And this one, for me, this is probably another one that's not going to be a surprise for anyone, because this is like my favorite, you know, bucolic fantasy land, but that would be, of course, the Green Witch Tarot. I like send me to go live in one of these cute little hobbit hole like cottages, and I would be happy for the rest of my life. So this'll do. Like, let's do this. So, this is absolutely a dream life for me. Again, I would probably need to be more of a hedge witch in order to make this make sense. But yeah, this.
But that's why it's a dream.
That's why it's a dream. This is my fantasy vacation. So, yep, 100% Green Witch Tarot. Yeah, I want to go live in Pagan Hobbiton. That's what I've always said. So,
Awesome.
I thought you would either pick that or the what is the other one? The one that me and Julie made fun of for ages and then went out and bought.
Anna Kay.
Yeah. That was the other one I thought you might pick.
Has a similar, I almost Anna Kay because it has a very similar feeling. Like, it's just this cute little town where you would probably live in a little cottage and like in your little like farming community or whatever. And yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I would like. Yep. So.
Okay. So for this one, I mean, maybe I read it like a little too literally in that I was looking at my decks and I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know that I would want to live there. And I don't know that it would qualify as like a vacay, but a place that I wouldn't mind visiting. I chose the Kauai Tarot because
cute,
right? Like, yes, feed me all the cheese, all the tea. Like, it's just this place just seems so fun, so colorful. I'm afraid of open water, but I feel like I would never drown in a place like this. It's just so cute. And there's just so much like pastries and food and like, hey, let's go shopping. Let's buy some things. Like, it's just so, this seems like it would be a good time, a good place to visit just for a while and to have my fun and to dissociate. And now, would I want to live here? Probably not. But like, yes, feed me cake, feed me lots of cake. So that is what I chose. This would be a good visit. Yeah.
Marlene is imagining little Chibi Julie living in Kauai land. That would be extremely cute.
My little Kauai t-shirt. Yep.
Exactly.
You nailed it.
All right. Heather's turn.
I went with something completely different, and I actually went with the Majestic Earth Tarot because the landscape in this is stunning, and in a lot of the cards, it's just like open landscape with no people. And if I was going to go away for a while, that's where I would want to go. to a nice, open, beautiful, beautiful scenery and very few people.
Yeah,
that would be the dream. Only the people that I've chosen to take with me.
There you go.
I wouldn't live here. I would want to come back and be in the world again. It would be lovely to be able to just escape to these places every now and again when I'm done peopling. And just be like, no, if you're not my person, you can't exist for a few days. You have to pretend to be not here.
Unless I've chosen you specifically, you're not within 100 miles of me. That's
exactly. I'm done having to be nice to people I don't want to deal with. I'm going to go and be in the wilderness with just people I like. So yeah, that would be me.
Yeah, that is actually a really, really good choice. Yeah, that deck is absolutely stunning. It's so full of beautiful landscapes. So yeah. It does make you feel like you're there in a lot of ways in some of those places. So yeah. All right. Our next prompt is a deck that brings out your creative side. I don't know. I hope we didn't all pick the same one for this, but I picked Bangtan Tarot because like this is like one of the most successful creative projects I've ever worked on in my entire life, and it like I don't know, it felt extremely creative working on this deck, and I did a lot of writing in connection with this deck, and like I don't know, everything about this was like one of the best creative projects ever, and it was so much fun. And so yeah, because I've tried, like I feel very intimidated by art. I've like tried doing some art in my life, and I like lose confidence and like have a hard time you know, trying to stick with doing any like visual arts kind of stuff, but this was more of a like kind of thinky righty kind of creative kind of project. And like, I don't know, that's just totally my jam. And it was super, super fun. So, so yeah, this is the one I picked, and I love this deck. It's my baby. So yeah, yeah.
Whoa. Yes, that was definitely a contender, but I was wondering if
I mean, you've created more decks, so like you have more to choose from, definitely, when it comes to decks you've created.
I was actually going to go with also another contender, but one I've shown a lot is the Raven's Prophecy, because I feel like I do pull that out when I want to tap into that side. But I decided to go with the Inspired Soul Tarot, because this is one in which, like, for these suits, I chose specifically like creative hobbies. So for the wands, I chose, you know, the idea of painting. For discs or pentacles, I chose, you know, sewing, being a sewist, swords, writing. And I love that I used fountain pens, because now I love me fountain pens. And then what was the other one? Did I go through all the suits? Oh, and then cups is basically like wine, you know, wine tasting, visiting wineries. I know that's something that a lot of people like to do. And so that's basically why I went with this deck. And yeah, I had a lot of fun making it. This was my first tarot deck that I made like digitally, and not like versus handmade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a deck that I think about when I think about decks that are about creativity. Like that deck is definitely like, in addition to being a creative work for you, like it was, you know, I don't know. I love the entire inspiration behind that deck. As soon as I saw the buttons for Pentacles, I knew I had to have it. So yeah, I just love it. It's so cool. All right, Heather's turn.
So I went in a completely different direction to you two, because I didn't think about Bangtan, and I haven't created decks. So I went with a deck that is very different to a lot of the decks that I own. And there's something about the way the deck is designed that makes me have to read it creatively. And so I actually went with the Tilduc Tarot. Because this, with no people and no animals and just scenery of some, like in this house or in this garden, is very, very different to anything that I own or any of the decks that I'm the most comfortable with. And so when I use this deck, I have to really dig in, like, to the creative, intuitive side of the way that I read. And so this more than any other brings that out of me.
Yeah.
Also, I just
love that. Yeah. Cool.
Very nice.
All right, man, we are flying through this tag.
Yeah, flying through this tag.
We're like, we are flying through. All right. So the next prompt is a deck that represents the landscape in your dreams. There were a couple of different ways I could have gone with this, because like it was like, you know, landscape in my daydreams, landscape in my nightmares. Like what landscapes do I actually dream about most often, because they're not necessarily, you know. So I ended up with going landscape of like daydreams, or a landscape that felt very dreamy. But I actually had another possible choice for this, which is a little bit like offbeat, so I'll mention that. But the one I ended up going with is the Fantasy Garden Tarot, because like this is like the dreamiest landscape to me. Like I love this. This is just everything that, you know, I think about being in. I've never been in a place like this before. I don't know if one exists at all in the world, but it definitely, and it has that very strong like landscape vibe to it. But it's this, you know, beautiful garden, all this statuary, and, you know, this little sort of like medieval looking city off in the distance, and it's just like really, really beautiful. So that's the one I picked. But one that I actually thought about picking, which is very random, is the Gorgon's Tarot. Do you guys know that deck? That's that black and white, like computer generated imagery deck. Just because, like, I don't know, something about that deck feels like unreal, and like it's taking place inside my own head in a weird way. And I almost went with that one, but I ended up finally like going with the more, I suppose, traditional interpretation of like what your, you know, landscape in your dreams would be, but yeah. And then there are definitely some others where if it's like, if I had gone with nightmare, I probably could have picked that one too. So, but yeah. Anyway, so Julie's turn for that one.
Yes, I had, similar thoughts of like, yeah, there are very different directions this could go. And I'm trying not to be too morose and like maudlin. So why don't we go for it? And also trying to think about, because I don't, in terms of like dreams and nightmares, like I don't record them. And so there are actually very few that I remember even, but like, I would say that in general, so my dreams will either go like fantasy, like landscape, because I read a lot of fantasy. So it makes sense that like, oh yeah, I'm being chased by a witch, and I'm being like I literally had dreams where like I'm entrapped in a house by a witch or something like that. But then other dreams will be just very realistic and mundane. And so that's why I decided to go with the Pink Sugar Oracle, because this is an oracle that deals with everyday mundane objects and items and divining with those. And so yeah, and plus it's just a gorgeous deck, so why not show it off? My God, like so. And the thing is, so it'll be interestingly, like the landscape itself of some of these dreams will be quite mundane and everyday and realistic, but then weird shit happens in it, it's like weird, where people who are, realistic, or like, or they maybe not be real life people that I know, but like human beings doing weird things, or even people that I do know doing odd things. So just, yeah. So not quite like a nightmare, but just a little bit uncanny, a little bit weird sometimes, but all in like the space of it being every day, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the best I came up with for that one.
Okay. All right. Heather's turn.
Yeah, I really struggled with this too, because I don't remember my dreams very, like, hardly ever. And I daydream all the time. I am a chronic daydreamer, but I just daydream about my life and the world that it actually is. So, but when I do remember my dreams, it's very similar to what you were saying, Julie, is that a lot of the time the landscape that I dream in is the world that I live in. It's my world. And sometimes it has like a touch of the magical or the mystical or whatever, but it's just very real and grounded in like the modern. And so I actually went with the Modern Witch Tarot for that kind of combination of like, it's very real world, but it's just occasionally has that
little something
like, this would never really happen quite
right.
It's clearly my world, but with a touch of fantasy magic stuff. And it was really hard to find a deck that summed that up.
Yeah.
I think this probably does the best job.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. Yeah, my dreams are so varied, and sometimes they're real places, and sometimes they're totally not real places, and sometimes like I have very strong like recurring places that happen in my dreams a lot, like, but it's it's impossible to be like, okay, a deck that represents that weird apartment building that I dream about living in all the time, where there are just random holes in the floor, or that the office building that has like a thing hanging off the side and there are like dinosaurs walking by. Like those are the kinds of dreams I have, and like they're just, I don't know, it's just too like nothing captures that. I don't know, my dreams are very strange, and I remember them a lot, and they're very strange. So yeah.
I mean, I could have picked, so the one dream, which I already told you two about because it has Sarah in it. I could have picked the Bangtan Tarot because it was very, do you remember this one? It was very Bangtan.
Yeah.
It was rooted in kind of like contemporary, like real life, but I was back in high school. And there was this taunt, like somebody like challenged me to like cut off part of my ear. So I did. So then I had this like bleeding severed ear part. So this was horror element too. And then I was
just getting to the Bangtan bit. Just bear with us.
Wait for it. So then I'm carpooling with Sarah, and I'm just like, and I have like part of my ear in like the cup holder of the car, and I'm like, I feel like I really need to go to urgent care. Like I feel like I need to go to the emergency. And Sarah's like, no, that's cool, but can we stop back at my mansion for a little bit? Like, and so I'm like, yeah, okay. So we stopped back at her mansion. And I'm like, I feel like I should maybe like call, like, or like, so I'm like trying to make this call. And the whole time Sarah's like, yeah, but look at this video of BTS. And so she's showing me video after video after video on her phone of BTS. And I'm just like bleeding and I don't have an ear. And I don't think I ever made it to urgent care because I think that's when the dream ended. But like, that's the kind of weird stuff. It's like,
yeah. I mean, this is how like fully representative of how I basically torture Julie and Heather into being BTS fans by just like sending them shit every day and being like, today's BTS assignment is to watch these 20 videos. Like, oh my God, I don't even know why they're so friends with me. But
she's
like,
not kidding either. She's not kidding. And she's not exaggerating.
Exactly how it went. Yes. Yeah.
In the beginning, it was like, and this discography here for today.
Exactly.
You have to watch this episode of Run before you watch this episode of Run. You must watch them in the order given.
Oh my gosh. So yeah.
So again, I don't know why they're still friends with me, and here it is. So yeah. And neither of them were especially Queen of Swords about the whole thing, so I can only conclude that they actually liked BTS.
No, we know.
Yeah.
Very, very helpful BTS guru. You know, I couldn't have done it without you, honestly, because it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Sure. So.
It's a whole world to enter into when you enter into BTS. So anyway, yeah, but yeah, apparently I did not care about Julie's.
No, you
just like not even for a second was I thinking about this every year.
Nope. It was BTS all day.
Only BTS, no emergency room, only BTS.
Yeah. In her mansion.
In my mansion.
Mansion that she just owned.
But there's also that, like, let's not ignore the fact that Julie's response to cutting off her ear was, I really think I should go to urgency.
Exactly. I mean, it was like you cut off your own ear for a very dumb reason. Like at the end of the day, it was your fault.
I'm like, and why would I even do that to begin with? Yeah. Why?
That's a lot to put on me as a friend.
Oh Lord.
Anyway,
yeah.
Well, okay. So we are on our last prompt.
Okay.
And the last prompt is the deck that represents your life currently. This deck captures your mood, energy, or season of life at this moment. And the deck that I picked for that is the Antique Anatomy Tarot. And there are a couple of reasons for this. First of all, the 1st of September passed, ergo, it was time to start watching all the Halloween things. So that is what I have been doing. And it's been fantastic because it's like, even though it's still 80 degrees here in Minnesota, I'm like, fall, yay. So it's like Over the Garden Wall. And then we're going to watch The Nightmare Before Christmas. And then, so it's been like all of the things. So that was one thing. And then I'm also right now kind of like, I should hold up some cards. I've been working on a whole bunch of like house projects. And one of the house projects is I kind of wanted to change up the look in my bedroom a little bit. And this deck kind of represents the aesthetic that I'm going for. So because I still have pink walls, but it's a little bit more goth vibe, you know, a little bit more like, you know, dark
anatomy. You're going to have bits of anatomy.
Well, there's not going to be any actual anatomy, but I mean, other than my own anatomy. But you know, but this sort of like slightly like Victorian gothy kind of little bit darker vibe is what I'm going for. Like more, you know, yeah. So because my bedroom has been very like pink and gray and like turquoise and soothing and calming, and now I'm like, you know what, let's make it witchier. So that's kind of like where I've been mentally. So this deck is actually a very good representation of that. So yeah, that's mine. So anyway,
that's good.
Yeah, Julie's turn.
So for this one, I decided on the Sasarai Bito Tarot, and I've just been going through some very challenging transition in my personal life. And I feel like, especially some of the cards in this deck, like for instance, this one, it encapsulates the mood that I am currently in right now.
Yeah.
Going through this transition. And then, also like this one right here. It's like
Mhm.
I feel like I want a cocoon. I know eventually I will come out of it. But right now I'm just kind of leaning into just like this shit right here. I'm just gonna do it. And this is a deck that is very so it gives space for that. But then it also makes me feel like it reminds me, you still have resilience.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, you still have resilience, you still have agency, and focus on the things that you can control and don't put energy into things that you can't.
Mhm.
And focus on the present day. And so I think this is a deck that not only kind of visually represents, many of the cards visually represent me and very like in ways that resonate, but also just the way in which this deck itself supports me is. So I feel like this is definitely going to come out in like the next, well, if not now, very soon.
Yeah.
So.
It's a very empowering feeling deck, I've always found. So yeah. It makes you feel like you can, and the court cards make you feel like you can be a lot of different people, and you have a lot of different powers and abilities and like aspects to yourself that are powerful. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. All right. Heather.
So I am being a little bit hyperbolic with this deck, I will acknowledge, but because I went for the Next World Tarot.
I almost picked that one.
Is it hyperbolic though? Is it? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, like not, but on a world level, like,
yeah,
obviously, but even on a personal level, I feel like I made a very good decision for myself last month, which also makes me feel a little bit like I've burnt my entire world to the ground, and is terrifying and is like really big. But I do think that this deck has so much hope for like a better future coded throughout it, and I do think that there is a lot of that as well. So there is a lot of like, holy fuck, what have I done? But also hope that things are going to be better in the future. So it does, in terms of on a personal level, it does feel ever so slightly hyperbolic, but also seems to sum up quite well where I feel like I'm sat right now.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah.
I love how you guys picked super deep ones, and mine is like Dark Academia bedroom.
Well, air versus water, it's it is, but it's the perfect combination.
I really love how this tag has shown just how fucking similar me and Julia are. Sarah is always stuck in the middle of that.
And she's like, how do I deal with these two? Like, how did
I get here?
No, honestly, like you guys are good for me because like otherwise I mean, I've gotten so much more watery as I've gotten older and just like flighty and like not paying attention to things and like not on top of things, and like it's really good to have people who are just a reminder, like bringing me back down to earth on occasion in a very loving way, which is it's important. It's very important. So
I've definitely got grumpier as I've got older and have far less fucked.
More unhinged. That's me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. So yeah. It's good. I think we work. I think we work as a trio, definitely. Yeah.
We've made it this far. How many years? How many years?
Yes, it's been a good long time at this point.
Yes,
so, yes. And I actually did almost pick the Next World Tarot. Like I was, and then I was like, can I? Am I mentally prepared to have that discussion? I don't know that I am because it's really bad right now. It's just, oh, it's so bad right now. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, well, that was the tag, and we are like right at exactly an hour. So I think our timing was very good.
Mhm.
So nice work, ladies.
Yes, good.
So,
Yeah.
so we actually are not able yet to announce when our next live is going to be because there's some scheduling things that we need to figure out for the next couple months before we can land on a date. But of course, as soon as we know, we will announce it. The next one will be on Julie's channel as usual, and we also will be shortly filming our Three Girls One Monthly Catch Up for August. So I will be editing and posting that up on my channel ASAP, so you guys can see what we were up to last month. But we also, just as a reminder, are reading another book together. So, and again, we don't have a specific time date nailed down for the live for that, but we all read the book Confessions by Kanae Minato, who's a Japanese author. Yeah, I'm sure I totally butchered that name. But yeah, so that's the book we read. It's a little bit of a departure for us because it's not so much of a fantasy, or horror. It's a little more of like a, contemporary sort of literary thriller, I think, kind of book is probably the best way to think about it. So it'll be really interesting, I think, to talk about that one. But yeah, so that's us. So, keep an eye out for some announcements about when we will be live next. But in the meantime, thanks so much for joining us today. And thanks again to Carrie's Mystical Musings for this super fun tag. And oh no, Aquarius Tarot Adventures, we are just about to sign off. So, but anyway, thanks so much to everybody who joined us. It was super fun, and have a great one.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye.